Okay, so the recording has started. Welcome everyone to the 3-minute thesis 2024 institutional competition. This is the participants preparation session. My name is Dr. Chandra Pillay on behalf of the RCD unit at the postgraduate school. We would like to firstly congratulate you and welcome officially to the competition. I am also joined by other members of the RCD team here today, who you will actually meet next week. So I'll just get right into it. So I think we all know what the 3-minute thesis is about, but I just wanted to reiterate that it is a one single static slide of a 3-minute presentation and to a non-specialist audience. And as we know, the benefits are always communication and research dissemination, presentation skills, networking. And since this competition is at different levels, you'll have international peer review recognition and professional development opportunities. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. By a show of hands, how many of you attended the information session for the submission procedures? We have one hand. All right, it seems like one. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of repetition, maybe for what I presented in the submission procedures information session. So I apologize if you're hearing this the second time. But for the 3-minute thesis, the only students that are allowed to participate is the active PhD and professional doctorate candidates with a research milestone confirmation. So that meaning at least they have submitted their proposal or have some sort of preliminary results. So I just wanted to reiterate that since some of the students didn't attend the information session. Okay, let me just let the other student in who's waiting in the lobby. Okay. So I just want to confirm we are all active PhD candidates. Thumbs up. Good. All good. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so moving on. I did mention there was many competition levels. So the first one would be your institutional, hosted by the university, and that's what you will be going through with us next week, Friday. Then the first place winner moves on to the international competition, which is hosted by U21. And those are the dates there. But once the institutional competition is over, we will be liaising with the winner. And then the national competition, which is not actually linked to the international competition, but it's something the South African universities have put together. So for that, the first and second place winners from each university move on to this competition. And this is actually being held on the 25th of October this year. And then we have one more competition, which is also not linked to the national or the international, which is another level on its own, is the South African and Nordic Center 3MT competition. So for this, the first place winner goes through. And for this year, our past winner is going through this level with us. So the winner from this year will go through next year. So as you can see, there's many opportunities for your presentation as for the winners' presentations, as well as a chance to network for professional development opportunities, and the most important, the prize money at each level. Okay, so going through our process, round one is closed. And then we've also given you feedback for your corrections. And the final submission is actually this Sunday. It's not the 16th of August. We've extended that. And then the date of the competition is next week, Friday. So just to reiterate some of the reasons why we requested certain things. So for instance, the abstract is for will be put in the event booklet and will be provided to the judges, to all the event attendees to get a better sense of your research before they come to the event. And this also ensures a standardized abstract for the event booklet. So some of the corrections that I gave was that it needed to be 1 page. Okay, I have a comment in the chat to feel where you don't have corrections because your submission passed all the guidelines. Okay, so yeah, and then I think I don't really need to go into much of the details of why we need an author list and references as such. I think we all know why we do need that. Okay. And then we requested your PowerPoint with the voiceover. So a few corrections for these came up with that you had to use the supply template that we gave you. And this is because the 3MT committee, the international one, has specific branding rules. And this year they changed it to this purple theme. So you cannot change or alter any of the slides except where the information I indicated needs to be included. So that also means no transitions between the first and second slide. Excuse me. And for those that even after corrections, just a disclaimer, if there are these small technical requirements, we will change it for you, but we will not change your content. Okay. And that goes the same with the abstract as well. So the voiceover specifically was requested to ensure that your presentation on the day does not exceed 3 minutes. This was something for us to check as the reviewing committee, because this will disqualify you on the day for the competition. And additionally, the voiceover was requested if you, the participant, has an emergency on the day and cannot physically attend. We will then play your pre-recorded presentation. So by Sunday, all the presentations need to be in so that we can give it to our technical team to ensure that your presentations meet the requirements. Okay. And then we also requested, so, okay, we have a hand up.
Sorry, I just want to clarify. Do we need to resubmit our submissions by Sunday with a PowerPoint without the voiceover? Or
No, that includes the voice.
Okay.
Sorry. That includes the voiceover as well, because I'm not going to, whatever you give me, we don't alter. So we will provide that to the technician. The only thing that we alter is maybe if you had a transition off, we'll check it one more time.
Okay, but on the day, we're obviously not going to play the voiceover. So
Yes.
it's okay if that slide is still there, including the voiceover. We're just not going to play it on the day if we are there live presenting it.
Yes.
Okay.
So the technician will have 2 copies, one with your voiceover and one without. So only if you're not there, we will play the one with the voiceover.
And the 2 copies, is that from the resubmission?
No,
Or
we will create the 2
you will
copies.
remove it.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay. And then we did request a script, and this is to ensure you as a participant that we did not alter your video or recording in any way. And it's also needed for the reviewers to follow your video voiceover if needed. This will be provided to the judges as well. And then the last thing we asked for is the terms and conditions agreement, which is basically a contract and declaration. So this is for your supervisor to know the content that you are presenting, and also maybe help you with the preparation of this. And this is to ensure that any confidential or unpublished work is protected, as your supervisor would guide you on how to present certain elements. For instance, if it's a novel gene, you will rename it. You won't use the exact gene name. Sorry, I'm speaking a little bit of science, but anything that cannot be unpublished can be given a random name. But your supervisor would guide you with that. Okay. Okay, we have a comment in the chat about something with the voiceover. You can contact me later. Okay. And I just wanted to go over the 3MT competition rules just again for those that didn't attend the information session. So I think by now we know that the presentations are limited to 3 minutes, and anybody exceeding these 3 minutes will be disqualified. The presentations, as we mentioned, will be spoken. Your voiceover was just for us to ensure that you are within that time limit, but you will be presenting it. You will be speaking. So we noticed for those presentations around 2:50, just for the speakers to be mindful that you only have 10 seconds left. So be mindful when you are practicing. And then on the day, we will have somebody in the back telling you when you have 1 minute left. So we hope that will help you guys out. And the presentations are considered to have started once you start speaking. So I will introduce you on the day with your title slide, and then the moment we move on to your content slide is when the 3 minutes start, the countdown begins. So as I mentioned, the provided PowerPoint template was the only one that could be used. It's one slide and no alterations in terms of transitions, animations, or movement. You are not allowed to use any electronic media, but so we had a few with videos, which we've asked to remove. But we'll see the corrections on Sunday, and then no additional props. And then just a note I made is if you want to go through the intro pack again, just to go over the rules in your preparation for next week. So before I move on, I wanted to show you guys the past winners submission. But do we have any questions so far in terms of your corrections, the rules? Okay. I think it seems like we're all good for now. I am going to play you guys the, for those again that didn't attend the information session, the past winners submission. This was actually her international submission, so you'll also see her in it, but her slide is on the right-hand side. So for now, all you guys have is the slide, but when you go onto the international competition, we do a video recording of you with your slide to submit. Okay, let me just play it.
Imagine you and your friend wanted to create a new Lego toy. The best way to do this would be to take your existing Lego toys, break them apart, and then build a new toy using the pieces of the original toys. What if I told you that the same thing can be achieved in drug discovery? The drug discovery and development process takes 10 to 15 years to produce one successful drug. With the number of people suffering from chronic diseases worldwide, finding new treatments needs to be improved significantly. With over 1 billion affected adults, hypertension or high blood pressure is the most critical health condition and main risk factor for developing cardiovascular, kidney, and other related diseases. Although effective hypertension drugs exist, only 1 in 5 people with hypertension have their condition under control. This is partly because treatments for chronic diseases are designed as one-size-fits-all. Unfortunately, the problem with the one-size-fits-all approach for hypertension is that it does not work for people with treatment resistance or non-response. Fragmentation-based drug discovery is an innovative and efficient approach to early-stage drug discovery. Like building toy sets, this approach aims to design new drugs using pieces of other existing drugs known as fragments. Our study demonstrates the value of fragment-based and AI-enabled design for hypertension. Just like Lego toys, we took existing hypertension drugs and broke them into smaller pieces using fragmentation. We then combined those pieces or fragments into new sequences and managed to develop a new set of potential hypertension drugs. With the help of AI, this process can be repeated to generate and screen hundreds of thousands of potential drugs. What previously took years can now be done in minutes. We believe that our study is a step towards the timely and efficient development of new drugs that can be personalized to individual patients and their treatment response. In future, our method can be used to design new drugs for other health conditions that have limited treatment options or treatments with low success rates. Thank you.
Okay, apologies for the little bit of the background noise there.
Last week, this week, and the beginning of this week, we did webs, we did the
Okay, I
success,
think
we
maybe.
did the OPEC, in a sense.
All right. And that's a little bit of an inspiration for you guys.
Imagine you and your
Sorry.
friend wanted to
In preparation for next week, Ms. Odifense will be joining us as the keynote speaker next week as well. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the selection criteria that we initially proposed. However, we actually only had 12 submissions. So usually we do have some sort of query about the representation from the science community, that there's a bit too much. But unfortunately, we couldn't avoid that. We decided to accept everyone that submitted this year, to allow everyone to be given a chance, as you guys worked very hard to prepare these presentations. So we did not actually have a selection criteria this year. Okay, and then moving on to the actual details of the event. The competition is next week, Friday, from 8 to 2, give or take, as we might go over time. And the venue is at the PGS training room in the Akanya building, APK campus. So you'll see it by this little orange dot in A parking. I think, yes, it's entrance 1A that we are closest to. So if you guys have a little bit difficulty with finding where that is, this is the campus map. And then this is the program. So we are allowing arrival from 8 to 8:30, and then we will promptly begin at 8:30 with a welcome address. I will then give a description of the competition and introduce you to the judges. We'll have our keynote speakers. And then from at 9 o'clock, we'll have our first 4 participants take a break. Then we'll have the next 4. We'll have a fun little audience competition. And then moving on to the last group of 4 for the participants. The judges will then move away to review the presentations and make a decision. And while they are doing that, we'll have more competitions. And once they have given us their decision, we will then have the award ceremony and the closure, after which we will have lunch. So for now, I have participants 1 to 4 numbered, but you will be receiving the actual program on Monday, where I will assign each of you a slot. I just want to make sure that the faculties are split up. Okay. And then I did mention that we will be sending out the event booklet, and this will contain all the event details, your abstracts, and the judges scoring rubric. So you will get a sense of what they will assess, but I'm also going to show you the rubric just now. And after the competition, we will provide you with these rubrics, you and your supervisors, so you can take some of the feedback and maybe incorporate it into your research. Okay, so this is the judges scoring rubric. As you can see, it's a scale rubric from 1 to 5, covering a ranking, I would say, of comprehension and content, and then engagement and communication. So basically your content for your research in terms of how clearly you communicate the content, its motivation, the impact of your results itself, and then how you present. So yeah, basically it's a score out of 30 with a ranking for each component from 1 to 5. And at this point, I just want to send out another disclaimer. One of the judges actually has 3 students in this competition. So that judge specifically will not be giving a score for those students. The head judge will ensure this. So there will be no biasness. Okay, before I move on to the nice details, are there any questions yet? Okay, okay. Okay, so then the prizes, yes, Thomas, you may go ahead.
How many, okay, oh, maybe you will answer it with this coming slide. I just wanted to know, because I saw you're going to divide, presented into groups of 4.
Mhm.
Is that categories? Is that faculties? Is that just to understand, or is just a random, it's just a random number
I
of,
I would like to split it up in the sense that no faculty is one after the other.
okay, okay, all right. Now
Okay.
that's fine. And how many winners are we going to have from this program? Only one.
We have first, second, third, and a People's Choice Award.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. And then Rafilu has asked how many judges in total. We have 6 judges from different faculties and 1 head judge who is an unbiased judge. That judge is actually from the Technology Transfer Office. Okay. So moving on to the prizes, as I mentioned, we have a first, second, third, and People's Choice Award. So those are the monetary values that the winners will be receiving, and all the winners will receive prize certificates, trophies, and presentation checks as well, and all participants will receive certificates. So just to let you know about the People's Choice Award, it is a poll for the online audience and the physical audience. And we will be sharing the link with you, I think, in the event booklet. And yesterday we did share the online audience flyer to the greater UJ community. So we've had quite a few signups already. So yes, I mentioned the online audience. Well, the platform being used is Zoom, and there are 100 slots available, but not to stress if your colleagues do not get the Zoom link, they are able to watch the event through the Facebook Live on the Postgraduate School Facebook page. And then a disclaimer for all participants, or well, all attendees of the events, is that we will be recording and taking pictures, and these will be published on our website as well as Facebook and any other UJ marketing platforms. And lastly, if you do have an emergency on the day, I may not be able to attend to emails as we'll be setting up, or maybe one of the staff will also be busy as well, but will be a person at the reception. You can phone this number, which will also be shared with you after the session. Okay, so that, yes, I will provide the access to the recordings and slides after the session. So I did request for your guest details. I have, I think, 8. I think 4 of the students still need to send me their guest details. And this is because we need to prepare for their dietary requirements. So as soon as possible, please can you send that to those who haven't. Additionally, with the external guests, we have to provide them with a letter to enter campus. So if you are bringing in an external guest and you haven't sent me the details yet, please send it to me as soon as possible. And then again, your resubmissions are due by Sunday. You'll just send it through to RCD inquiries. And with everything, I have to do a feedback survey. So I will be sending you a link for a feedback form for this session. Other than that, we are very excited to have you guys join us, and we are very proud of your presentations, and well done in the preparation. All the best for next week's competition. I'll give you a round of applause. Do you have any questions? None so far. Are we all happy? Excited for next week? Okay, great. Okay, if we do not have any questions. Oh, yes, Lesedi.
Oh, sorry, not a question. I wanted to upload. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, if there's no questions. Well done again. Very excited to have you guys. It's going to be a great event. All the best with your practice. See you next week.
Thank you. Have a good day further.
Thank you.
Thank you.